Hello to everybody there. Let me wish all of you a very happy new year. With the blessing of Mighty One, this year and coming year may bring all of us happiness, meaningful year, and free from COVID-19. Anyway, I'm so happy to be back and to have all of you again. Today, my main discussion will be about how to practice Buddhism in our daily life. There are two parts. The first part is basic Buddhist practices. The second part is daily practice from morning to night. So this will be the two main subtopics that I will share with you tonight. And probably in your places morning. So anyway, after morning, evening. I've been asked many times, Rinpoche, I want to become Buddhist. What I supposed to do, and many questions that also ask me many other questions by Buddhists who have been Buddhists for a long time. Rinpoche, now I'm Buddhist. How I should practice, what I should practice, when I should practice. So these are the questions that goes through the mind of many, particularly beginners. So hopefully this discussion may enlighten you in a way that you are able to see the clear path toward liberation. So that's what I'm going to share with you shortly. Now, generally, our life, a lot of uncertainties. Nobody can predict what will happen tomorrow. Today, I may be unhappy. Tomorrow, I can be happy. So it's unpredictable. And many times, life throws many challenges in our life. And of course, everybody go through state of joy, we experience happiness, and many times we also experience suffering. And one of the questions that I've been asked many times, why? In Buddhism, you only talk about suffering. Why don't talk about happiness? Always talk about suffering. Nobody likes suffering. Probably, of course, Buddha and all the bodhisattvas. And if you're happy, we are all happy. We all want you to be happy. So happiness is very rare. We should, when we are happy, grab that moment, be happy, and share happiness with everybody. So it's a bonus. However, suffering is something that we have to go through every day. If you say in terms of percentage, happiness is a lot more less than suffering. And this is one of the reasons why in many Buddhist teachings, and when you attend seminar or listen to many different gurus, talks about a lot about suffering. It's not they're happy to talk about suffering. Nobody is happy to talk about suffering, but we need to deal with suffering, otherwise we cannot be free. Now, there are a few things that happiness can help, suffering can, assist us, help us to look for a liberation. First, suffering remind us that we are not in heaven, we are not in nirvana, we are in samsara. That's the first thing that suffering remind us. The second thing that suffering remind us, to try to look for a cause why we are suffering, and what is the way freedom to eradicate or eliminate suffering, so we can be always happy. So in a way, suffering is bad, but it also teaches us something good. And probably if you read some of the teachings by great master, sometimes you find it so funny, like I came across one of the teaching by one of the Kadamba master, even in some of the Mahamudra teachings, you may come across actually sometimes gurus, makes us not suffer, but we in the form of suffering to remind us, because the problem is when you are a little happy and we get so drunk, and for the little gain, we tend to miss the ultimate goal. Therefore, it is not good, but suffering does help us. Therefore, in Buddhism, we talk a lot about suffering, not that Buddhists like suffering. Now, when you come to know, that suffering, and then you want to free yourself from suffering, not only you and your loved ones, that someone that you care. So how we can free from suffering? Like if you are not well, we're going to go to see doctor. That is very easy, but then doctor is not able to help us how to acquire freedom from suffering. So we need to get this advice from Triple Gem, who are Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And that's the reason why we take refuge. We want to be under guidance of Triple Gem or three roads, so that we can learn how to be free ourselves from this suffering role. So refuge plays a very, very important role. And now what happens is, due to time, we may not find a perfect guru. It's not possible like Buddha. Of course, there are many perfect gurus. Due to our karma, we may not meet with such gurus, or it's difficult to meet. Sometimes, both sides need karmic connection. So of course, I cannot say that they are perfect. There's no perfect gurus in this world. There are many, but it's difficult to find them. That's the only question. So now in this situation, how we should proceed? We have to look for a teacher, someone who's compassionate, someone who knows what he or she's teaching us as our requirement. And if this teacher could be, anybody, doesn't have to be very high Rinpoche or Lama, could be someone very simple monk or simple layman or laywoman, could be very much, learned, So we can take as a teacher. Now, so we need to choose, okay, we cannot find someone 100% perfect, but we can compare if this person has more qualities, good qualities than unwanted qualities. So you can take this person as our teacher. And again, I thought this is very important thing to share with you. You know, root guru and teachers are two different things. You know, someone could be your teacher at the same time can be a root guru, you know. But we don't have to find root guru initially, you know. If you follow Rinpoche or Lama, anybody who's qualified, for some time you receive initiation, we receive instruction, you receive transmission of the teachings that you require. Then the more you receive, so you accept someone as your guru. And you don't have to go and ask, you know, I don't know where this tradition came from. You know, you don't have to say, oh, Rinpoche, you have to be my guru, you know. And Rinpoche, oh, yes, I will accept you. So, you know, you don't have to ask. But even if you ask, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Nothing wrong. You can ask, no problem, you know. And then, or you just find a teacher that you can learn. You can learn, you know, you can learn as much as you can have many teachers, you know. Like Thomasi said, he has one main teacher, which is Phip Karmapa, but then he has 19 other teachers. So there's nothing wrong to have many teachers. So the purpose of teacher is to learn Buddha Dharma. So once you find any teacher who's qualified, then you take refuge. Okay, first you look for a teacher, and then you take refuge from the teacher. And then once you take refuge, and then you build a strong connection with Buddha Dharma, Sangha, or three rules. Three rules are Guru is this is very only in Tantrayana. Guru is the root of blessings. Dharma, yidams, Nondatara, Avalokiteshvara, these are the root source of accomplishment. Of course, ultimate accomplishment is enlightenment. Yeah, there are many relative accomplishments. And then we take refuge from protector, all the Dhammapalas, to protect not only externally, but most importantly, internally, you know. Many times, particularly beginners, you know, when you look at this, all the Dhammapalas, always tend to think that, oh, there's someone trying to harm us, you know, so I need someone who is very, very powerful, you know. You know, many times I have this interesting but funny question, you know. Rinpoche, you know, I said, someone came to me and he said, Rinpoche, I need deities for my protection. So I said, you should recite Tara mantra. And he said, and Tara looks so humble, you know. Tara looks so humble. I don't think Tara can do it. I need someone very powerful, wrathful, you know, who has a fang, who's carrying knife, and you know, I need someone very wrathful, you know. Probably such can protect me. Others, Tara cannot, because Tara looks very, very humble, you know. I mean, I don't blame, you know, that's what we used to think, you know. But the purpose of protector is to not to protect externally. Of course, maybe harm from non-beings. Most importantly, to protect from within, because our emotions are the one which destroy inside out. So we have to be more careful with our emotion than someone outside. Okay, and so that is the purpose of taking refuge from triple jam. Now, once you take refuge, okay, generally, if someone takes refuge from triple jam, then we consider ourselves as a Buddhist. Yes, I'm a Buddhist because I took refuge from triple jam. But there are some gurus say that is important, but also unless we accept 4 albums of Dharma, then we cannot be true Buddhists. I mean, it's nothing wrong. I mean, there's always, you can always debate and, reason, we can always question, there's no problem at all. And if you embrace the practice of 4 albums of Dharma, I think it was also meaningful. That actually really builds our strong foundation, very strong foundation. So it's nothing wrong. Now, of course, 4 albums of Dharma itself has so much of discussion to share, So I would like to make it brief today, and next time we will have more discussion on about 4 albums of Dharma. Now, what are the 4 albums of Dharma? First is called impermanence. This is something we have to do. Many times I see, especially who are new to Buddhism, or just an ordinary person, and comes to me and say, Rinpoche, how come, last year I was so happy, this year I'm so unhappy? How come, my loved one was so strong, healthy, full of life, suddenly pass away? How come? It cannot be, and also very young. The reason is because when we do not understand what impermanent means, and that's the reason why we cannot accept death, changes in life. Impermanent means every second, every moment, every minute, every hour, every day, things changes all the time, Like when I first started to travel, everybody said, Rinpoche, you're so young. Yeah. Now nobody asked me that question. I said, Rinpoche, how old are you? That means I know. So getting old, there's a way of life. So everything changes. When you understand what impermanent means, this will give us deep understanding. You are able to reason why things are happening, and also gives us the sense of urgency. We may think, oh, Rinpoche, I'm young now. I need to work. I need to earn a lot of money. So when I'm retired, then I can practice. But we may have a long plan, list of plan, but then impermanent doesn't wait for us. You may see people dying very young, when they're very like 3, 4 years old, 10, 11 years old. So nothing remains forever. Everything keeps changing. So you just need to accept, and the flow, go with the flow. This way we are much more happier. The second part is whatever that deteriorates is called suffering. Now, whatever that is contaminated by poison, by defilement, such as anger, jealousy, all this defilement, it's always suffering. Like fame, like wealth, definitely we can say for a moment we can be very happy, but then it becomes a suffering of change. Like for instance, someone who like car, a beautiful car, you may take a loan. Wow, you're so excited. This is the only thing that I care in the world. This is the only thing that I precious the most. When you buy, maybe a lot of joy inside in our heart. But the months, when time comes to pay the loan, then you start sweating. So it's called suffering of change, you know. And suffering, it doesn't matter, you know, you may be rich, you may be poor. Suffering is part of our life, as I said, mentioned earlier. Poor have a suffering of not having enough, okay, and not enough food, not able to, put food on the table for loved ones, not able to own house. You know, there's so much of suffering. You know, if you listen, there's so much of suffering. And if you listen to the rich people, you may say, "Oh, I have enough, but I want more. You know, I want better." So there is no end to suffering, you know, no matter rich or poor, you know. Everybody has suffering, you know. Someone is not famous, you try to be famous, you know, you try your best to be, try to see how I can be famous. But someone is so famous, they feel so lonely. They don't want to be famous because you lose all the freedom that you have. You cannot go and eat in the street, you know, everybody start taking picture or following you everywhere, you know. So it becomes a nightmare. Okay, that's called suffering. And the third part is everything is selflessness. Everything is selflessness. You know, there's nothing that actually has the truth. Nothing. You know, like like for instance, when I investigate myself, I'm called myself Zurmang Gharwang. But then I just say, okay, it's only 16 come up. I say, oh, you are incarnation of Zurmang Gharwang. I say, oh, I'm incarnation of Zurmang Gharwang. Yeah, yes, you know. But then when I ask, where's Zurmang Gharwang? I cannot find Zurmang Gharwang. When you put together everything, then, oh, this is Zurmang Gharwang. Remove my body in different parts, then you cannot find Zurmang Gharwang. So in fact, nothing has inherent existence. That means nothing ultimately is real. It's like an illusion. You know, it's like a dream. While you are dreaming, there are so many things can happen. That moment when you wake up from dream, nothing you can show. You can't even show up to yourself. Okay, so anyway, we'll have more discussion about this in the future because we have more to share. Yeah? And finally, the fourth part is nirvana. So when you know about selflessness, then attachment, anger, all this will be gradually overcome. Because why if I believe in I, then I believe in a mind. I want this, I want that, I want to be famous. Somebody is more famous than me, I'm not happy. Someone is richer than me, I'm not happy. That's how, because of I, we have put ourselves into great suffering. You know, that's the reason why everything has no self. When you analyze, there's nothing that you can find real. Nirvana is peace. Nirvana is called dharma. You know, when we conquer freedom over all the defilement, when the suffering ceases, when you acquire the cessation of suffering, that is the time we attain nirvana. Of course, nirvana again, there are many levels. You know, we are talking about Buddhahood, or even temporal nirvana. There could be many temporal liberation. You know, when you are in a hot country, and if you manage to find a very cold, soda water for me, then it's nirvana for a moment, because my thirst and heat goes away from me. You know, so it is a form of nirvana, not ultimate nirvana. Okay, so this is something important. Now, that is the fourth. Now the fifth point is, now once once you have a guru, now you have taken refuge. Once you have a guru, you should not waste your time. Listen, read. This will help you to learn what's wrong, what is right, and why we are suffering, how I can be happy. By listening, by reading, it helps a lot. That's the first part, listening. The second part is contemplate. We need to spend time. And now today, after discussion, you can go back and, okay, Rinpoche said this, how this can be true, or how I can apply this advice into my life, daily life. So you need to contemplate. When you contemplate, you are able to retain the information from your reading and from your listening. Otherwise, it just goes. You listen from the left, from the right, and everything goes. So at the end of the day, you are empty inside. So listening is very, very important, and contemplation is more important. And finally, the meditation is the one that, by contemplating, you are able to retain all the information, and meditation is able to actually that whatever you have listened, whatever you have contemplated, when you apply this in your daily life, meditation is the tool that brings realization. So it is very, very important. Meditation is very, very important. Now, okay, these are very, very important. Now, we recite mantras, we recite sadhanas, we meditate. It's all very good. But then, we can't do whole day. Most people has responsibility. You cannot be practicing like monk from morning to evening. So that's why this is the reason why we are not able to progress. Rinpoche, how come I'm not progressing? The reason is like, okay, 24 hours. How many hours you practice? Most people, 1 hour, not more, or maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. And now you have if you practice 3 hours, you have 22 hours. What you do in this 22 hours? I think probably 8 hours you are dead, you're asleep, And other time you are doing so many other things. Sometimes could be directly against the Dharma. Sometimes could be not that meaningful. In order to make progress from our learning, the best way that we can follow is that you need to watch our mental action, physical action, and verbal action. That whatever you do, whatever you do, if you can apply the teachings of Buddha into your life, then you are actually practicing like at least 18 hours, So I think that's what we need to do, Like for instance, during hot day, if you are enjoying cup of ice cream, I like ice cream, but my weight doesn't allow me to eat more ice cream. But otherwise, I would like to try more ice cream, especially durian ice cream. I really like. When you're enjoying, suppose durian ice cream, okay, durian ice cream. So okay, I say, oh, I'm so, I'm so blessful, I'm so lucky because of my good karma that I'm able to enjoy this durian ice cream, But I also wish others who may wish to enjoy, but due to their commitment, maybe some may not able to afford, so they can't enjoy. So I wish everybody can enjoy it like this during ice cream, by having this thought. Could be small, simple, meaningless, but it can become very, very powerful. you know you know it's not about how much you practice, but it's about how you practice. It's called wise learning. Wise learning. It's not learning all the time, but you need to learn wisely, then you learn better. Yeah. So simple thing in life can be very, very meaningful. Uh, Even meaningful things, if you are doing for your own self-interest, then maybe not so meaningful. Like, for instance, if I recite mantra a million times, I say, okay, Tara, please bless me. I want to be famous. I want to own so many monasteries. I want to own so many monks. Then what you are doing business, in Dharma, that's not right. Yeah, that's not right. So it's not about what you do, but how you know. When you do it something, if you do it meaningfully, then it's beneficial. Okay, so this is something you have to keep in mind. I think it's very, very important. A lot of time, like my friend complained to me, Rinpoche, you are a monk, you have a lot of time, but we are working. We don't have time. How we supposed to practice? I said, when I look, actually you have more opportunity than me. I'm in the monastery. Buddha doesn't make me angry. No chance to practice patience. Of course, sometimes monks do make angry. But I have to, yeah, I have to say, kidding, not serious. So, but in everyday life, somebody will make you angry, somebody make you jealous, somebody makes you stressful. So these are all your subject of practice. You practice patience, you practice compassion, you practice caring, you practice sharing. So actually you have more opportunity than us. That's what Melarapa said. He doesn't read book, but he said the whole life is a practice. So your whole life is a practice. So a lot of opportunities. So next time, please don't tell me, Rinpoche, I don't have time to practice. Okay, you have more opportunity than me. Huh? Then now this part is very, very important. There's a famous word called renunciation. And sometimes the word, the meaning is interpreted wrong, understood wrongly. Now, for most, what renunciation means, pack up everything, run into the forest, live with the monkeys. That is not renunciation. You can live in the forest and you can be still very bad. But they are highly accomplished guru who live in the city they have still renounced the world. So what really renunciation means? Renunciation means that no matter who, your family, your friend, your loved ones always care about you, love you, so much of comfort they give to you. And you're someone that you dislike, someone who don't like you, who hates you, makes you unhappy, But then when you practice renunciation, no matter good or bad, no matter hurtful or helpful, you treat everybody equally. Everybody same. You have the same love to everybody, And if you're able to do that, that is called renunciation, And I'm not saying that it is easy than said. It is easy said than said. It is more difficult than said. Okay, it takes time, but you have to practice step by step. Then we are able to reach that level, level of practice. And of course, renunciation also means that no matter how difficult it can be, if you keep keep your stand. Don't let your emotion control you. No matter how difficult, you never bow down to emotions. And if you're able to do that, that is called renunciation. Otherwise, just running to forest means that you are running away from all your responsibilities. So that is not a good example. Having long braid, white hair, gray hair, and living in the cave doesn't make you good practitioner. Of course, it is courage, but the true renunciation means that's what I have explained earlier. So you can be living in the city, you can still renounce the world. You may be living in the forest, but you never renounce the world. So you have to see, okay. And now, so when you practice as your whole life as a practice, when you apply all the teachings from Buddha Dharma into your daily life, everyday life, and if you're able to do that, you will see a lot of progress. You can see, and many times, some of the Dharma friend comes to me and they said, Rinpoche, can you look my face? Do you think how much I've practiced? Have I made anything wrong? Have I done anything wrong? Can you see my face? I can't tell you, I can't tell you how much you practice by looking at your face. It's impossible. I can't tell you that. If you ask me, have I lose weight? Have I gained weight? Yeah, I can tell you, but other than how much you practice, I can't. Nobody can tell. Nobody can tell. But at least there are some telltale sign. Telltale sign. If you practice well, then what happens is you become very humble, okay, and your emotion tend to reduce, and that's how you see the transformation. Someone who have so much of anger in the beginning, and from the practice, someone is able to have so much of patience. That's the sign of practice. If someone who practices, the more who practices, the worse it becomes. If your anger, if your jealousy, hatred, if this grows, that means you have not improved. Actually, you have gone worse. Not good. So you may find sometimes you may cross a person and say, Rinpoche, I'm Buddhist for 30 years, but then the thing he or she does, oh, is it true? What have you done 30 years? Maybe not so much practice, you are able to tell. Okay, so this what what do you call basic Buddhist practices. That is the first part. Okay, it's big. Now the second part is much lesser. Again, which is also very, very important. Second part is daily practice from morning to night. So what are we supposed to do? Okay, what we supposed to do moment when you wake up? What we supposed to do? Okay. Now, when you so what we need to do, okay, every day, this is something again maybe important for all of us, like what we should do. So morning when you wake up, you have to, of course, you cannot say that your wife or husband wake you up or your alarm clock wake you up. You have to think that all the Dhamma, the bell sign of all the Daka Dakinis awaken you from this darkness of unknowing, from ignorance. Okay, that's what you need to do. And then once you wake up, don't just jump and go somewhere and start drinking coffee or smoking. That's normally people don't know. You just sit on your bed. Of course, that depends also. If your wife is Buddhist, it's okay. If your husband is Buddhist, it's okay. Otherwise, if you try to do that, husband or wife may kick you out from the bed, so don't try, don't say that, oh, Rinpoche is supposed to do, said that supposed to do this, you may get kicked out from the bed, and next morning you comes to Rinpoche, you said that, no, I got beating. That shouldn't be the case, okay? So you have to make sure that your husband or your wife or your friend, they are Buddhist, so there will be no problem. So, well, sorry, you sit like this, your palm, this is the way all the bad energy of all the poison flow in and out. So you cross like this and hold on your hip like this, yeah, hip, okay, and then slowly you raise it out like this, close your right nostril and blow from left nostril, okay, and place it back, okay, and your left arm, it like it. Close your left nostril and blow from right, and then place it back on your hip like this. And that time you have to visualize that you have actually removed all unwanted bad energy, bad air in your body. So you begin with the good energy, okay, good energy. So that's what you should practice like this. Place it back. Like this, okay, every day morning. So it's very, very important, okay? We call it Lung Ro Sao. 3 times you need to do that. Yeah, this one time, okay? From the left nostril, from the right nostril, then together, 1 time, okay? And after that, you can sit for a while, or you can you can do, of course, you need to wash your face, you need to brush your teeth, clean yourself, or shower, whatever, and then you should go to the altar, altar, and clean the altar, and then before you like normally in the monastery, we change all the cups, offering cups, around 4 something, but depends, if you're working, so it's not possible. After removing the water from the cup, wash the cup and put upside down, because there are many gurus said cup facing upward, all this non-being, they will build a city inside the cup. So morning, if you pour water inside the cup, you may destroy the whole city. Yeah, whole city, So it's not an imagination. That's what many gurus able to see. We call it, tisa, all these beings, different beings tend to live inside the cup, and then offer water. And after offering water, if incense, you just put 1 in our tradition. You don't have to put a lot. After that, you may start having nose block. Just offer 1, and then fruits or flower, if you can afford, you can every day. If not, few days you offer fruit and flowers, and then when you offer, you have to think that I'm really offering. Don't think that, okay, tomorrow I'm going to use for my breakfast. You may see a very delicious avocado. Okay, expensive, no problem. Today I offer you. Tomorrow I'm going to enjoy for my breakfast. Then your offer becomes not so good, not so pure offering. Okay, so offer, and after that, without thinking, if you use, okay, blessings. But before you offer, you start to plan what you're going to do with your avocado. That's not so good yet. Okay. That shouldn't be the case. Okay. Then after that, you sit down, you can recite your prayers, whatever prayers you have. And Probably because next week is a Chinese New Year, so we may not have a time. Many will be busy. But I'm going to also teach you. I will see probably the week after. This is the short practice that we used to have a white sadhana. So now this book is added and we have insert more. We have elaborated some of the practice on Mahakala and Mahakalis. So I'm going to give you long, and also I'm going to teach you this probably the week after. Okay. And before that, maybe we may have a one short session of meditation discussion, because a lot of time I'm asked meditation. So I will make it simple that I would like to share with you. So now, once you have done with your prayers, and then you start whatever the work you have, and then if possible, like myself, every morning when I wake up, then I will clean the altar, I offer the water, I change, I will do myself because I want to earn merit, because if you ask your helper to offer Buddha, you want to sleep a little bit more, next time your helper become Buddha before you. Okay, so best thing is to offer yourself so you can be Buddha fast, Otherwise, your helper become Buddha and you will be still sentient beings, So you have to be careful, okay? Now, and after that, what we need to do is, the moment when you wake up, then, you have to say, okay, today, whatever I do, I will do something meaningful, which means beneficial to me, beneficial to others, okay? That's what I want to do. That is the thought that you must have, okay? That's the plan when you begin your day, okay? And then from morning until you go to bed, you have to be constantly mindful, mindful about all this poison. Don't let your poison or negative emotion distract you from your right path, okay? And if you're mindful, you will never give any space to any emotions. And emotions are not so powerful. We make them powerful. We always welcome them. Come. And what happens is after that, emotion take root. When it take root inside you, it controls you, and you become a slave of your own emotions. So when you become slave, then it becomes difficult. So before, when we had that power, when you have this ability, the strength, we have to make sure that never give emotion. When the emotion is gone from us, no place to go. They're worse than anybody else. They are powerful, we make them powerful. Like for instance, especially when you are meditating, when you're in meditation, sleeping is always a good friend to all of us, yeah? Whenever we chant, whenever we pray, whenever we meditate, sleepiness come to us so comfortably, then you feel, oh, let me sleep for a few seconds. Then after that, you'll be dozing, your meditation is gone. Your sleepiness has carried away your meditation. So we have to be constantly aware, then we will never give chance to all these negative emotions, okay? That's how we improve. That's how we protect, okay? That's what you need to do. And then before you go to bed, you need to spend a moment, you recall what I have done from morning until now. If I've done something good, you should rejoice. Oh, I've done something good. I wish everybody can do this like me. You should pray, be happy, be happy. And you don't have to laugh, okay? You just feel happy. Otherwise, your husband, wife may think that you may have gone cuckoo, yeah? So you don't have to laugh. You should feel happy. Okay, I'm so happy. And if you have done something wrong, then, okay, you pray that nobody should do like me. mistake like me. I'm sorry for what I've done, And when you make a mistake, you cannot say, I'm sorry, Buddha, I've done something wrong. It doesn't work, and you don't have to tell your teacher, oh, Rinpoche, I've done something wrong. You don't have to tell, but you have to make sure that if you have done something wrong, firstly, you have to have a genuine sense of regret. That's the first step. Yeah, I've done something wrong. Terrible. Okay, that's the first thing. You have to have a genuine sense of regret. Second, you commit yourself not to do it again. Okay, that's very, very important. Third, you take the protection of triple gem or tree root for your protection. Okay, to able to hold your commitment. Okay, finally, you can recite Vajrasattva mantra. You can make prostration. You can do circumambulating. You can offer lamb, flower, offer to charities. So, but then after doing all that, you have to come in not to do it again. And if you keep making everybody does make mistake. The first mistake is okay. We all make mistake. But if you keep making the same mistake, that is a problem. Yeah. So you should try your best not to make mistakes. Okay. So I would like to leave it here. I think I've shared with you all, and hopefully it is meaningful. There are 2 parts. I'm going to post that. I have both in English, Chinese, and Tibetan. Okay, all you can have a look. Okay, so that's all I have for now, and we have just celebrated Western New Year, Western calendar, and this next week is a Chinese New Year. Yeah, 恭喜发财. Okay, thank you. 新年快乐. That's what in Chinese tradition you use wish for a happy New Year. Okay, that's all I'd like to have say now. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Rinpoche. We have a couple of questions.
Okay, no problem.
So first, Rinpoche, what can we do or practice so that we don't lose trust when we've lost trust?
Trust.
Yes.
You need to know the reason why you are losing trust. Not because you assume or something is wrong, or somebody tells you something is not right, and if you can find, really there's something wrong, then you can talk, talk to a teacher, or if whomever that you don't trust. If you spill it out, then not angrily, but friendly, in the friendly atmosphere, you are able to overcome. And of course, you always recite your Guru Yoga for the blessing, your Yidam. All this will help. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. I just want to let everyone know that they can ask Rinpoche a question in the Q&A panel at the bottom of their screen if they would like. And then also we have a question in Chinese, so I'm hoping that Ruby can translate and put in the comments, and I'll read them out from there. Okay, Rinpoche, how to raise awareness to become aware when the clashes, the destructive emotions arise through the 6 spaces of contact, and how do we overcome them when they arise, these mental afflictions?
I think if you're mindful, then you will never give a space to all these emotions. Yeah, our emotions are only able to harm us when you take for granted, when you are not present. It's like when if you close the door, the thief or robber cannot enter. If your door is open, everybody can enter. So you have to be constantly mindful. Yeah.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, can a bodhisattva still have dreams, and can a bodhisattva still experience fear of something?
Bodhisattvas, they are not all in high bhumis. can be part of accumulation. You know, the moment you take, suppose the moment you take bodhicitta precept, you know, you become bodhisattva family. You know, you're part of bodhisattva. So doesn't mean that you don't, you are totally holy. You know, so they need to progress. They need to work hard. You know.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So maybe now we wait 1 minute just in case the translation of the Chinese question can happen.
Okay.
And then please, everyone, we're coming to the end of the question. So if you do have a question for Rinpoche on this amazing teachings on how to practice in daily life, please add them. Okay, we got more questions coming in. Thank you.
So we're going to now actively use that email. So anybody has a question, you can send email. We will start. We actually we read the email. Sometimes some say can't receive, can't send. So anyway, let's see. Huh?
Thank you, Rinpoche. Okay. Thank you very much.
By the way, I'm in Singapore. You made me wonder how come your background is different.
So next question, Rinpoche, may I kindly ask, what is your advice for dealing with physical pain? That we don't know what the cause is, but there's physical pain. How can we deal with this?
It's a good question. You know, sometimes you know, when the doctors are not able to diagnose what kind of problem that you have physically, you know, that is the problem that, you know, many people face, tend to face, you know. Of course, oneself, if you are Buddhist, you can recite Medicine Buddha. This will definitely will help. And you should get maybe a few opinion from different doctors. They're able to tell you why you are not well. You know, if you're saying medical problems, issues, I think that's normally what we do, you know. And from the spiritual side, we can recite the mantra. And on the medical side, we can always consult the doctors. You know, you know, one may not able to diagnose your problem, but others may able to help you. Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche. There also is one question in Indonesian, if Tugiman can translate that. Okay, so Rinpoche, next question is, what if negative emotions come from an outer evil force? And
what's that?
What if a negative emotion, if the source of the negative emotion is from an outer evil force, and it comes again to discourage a Buddhist disciples? How can you deal with this?
Possible. That's the reason why we need to practice Makala and Makalis. They are the one who to protect us from all the external forces and internal forces within. So, you know, as a practitioner, you know, the higher, the better you become, you tend to have a more serious obstacles, you know. That shows that you have become someone that even evil being can't stand you.
Thank you.
So because you have to better. So I think Makala, all the, of course, Guru, Yidam, you can pray. And that's the reason why, you know, you see all the His Holiness, you know, His Holiness Gamaba, His Holiness Lama, His Holiness Jachinzan, you know, all the His Holiness, you know, they also attend ceremony, do prayers, practice, because, you know, knowing just is not enough. We need all the protection, help from all the deities and protector, you know, so it's important, you know. It's a very simple way to put it, you know. You may say, oh, I meditate, everything should be okay. You know, I study Buddhist philosophy, everything should be okay. I don't know. No, that's good, but it's not enough. You know, there are forces that, you know, you can't start explaining to the forces. You need some kind of ritual, blessing through rituals, you know.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So next question. Thank you, Ruby, for translating this. I have been practicing Dharma for over 10 years, but I have a full-time job and I am not able to go into retreat in this life. I can only practice at home. It seems I cannot have a big accomplishment. Any advice, Rinpoche?
Or not this life, you have still a lot of time, 10 years, you know, I mean, I mean, it's a good question. Sometimes it is difficult, you know, when you have so many commitment, you know, but you should never lose hope. And given such a difficult environment, whatever way that you are able to practice, that you should try your best. I think that is, I think, the most important. As I mentioned in the beginning, the quantity is not important. The quality, how you practice, that will make the differences. Okay, bring progress.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, the next question is, in Buddhism, I heard that with regards to meditation, we're supposed to leave the 3 doors in the natural state. What are the 3 doors, Rinpoche?
What do you mean by 3 doors?
It's Gosum, Rinpoche. Gosum.
Oh, yeah, okay. Body, speech, and mind, is it?
Yes, Rinpoche. Yes.
Body, speech, and mind.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Next question. Rinpoche, could you explain what is non-duality, please?
Non-duality is like that is only experience, nime, we call it nime, like duality is inzin, yeah. Non-duality means there's no grasping, part of grasping, and through reasoning, you are able to convince yourself that there's no I, then therefore there's no you. I and you are because of dependent. This is called dualism. This is how whole samsara is built up. Right is because there's a left is because of the right. So non-dualism, when you dissolve this circle, you, me, all that's what it is. That means not to have dualism, thought of dualism. Yeah, Daniel, is it that?
Thank you, Rinpoche. Thank you so much. Very clear. 1 minute, Rinpoche. We are just waiting for Tukiman to write the translation of the email.
No problem.
Okay.
First month of the new year, I bought a new shaving machine, so I'm able to shave better.
Looking good. Oh, thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, you mentioned Yidam. Must we finish our 4 foundations before we practice Yidam? Thank you, Rinpoche.
No, even Yidam, I think we should all have Yidam, no matter what you practice, no matter 4 foundation, whatever, we all have one is Guru Yoga, there's then Yidam, and then Dhammapalas, So you must have a Yidam practice, could be Tara, could be Avalokiteshvara, could be any other deities, but we must, because Yidam is the source of accomplishment, like temporary accomplishment. There are 8 different temporal accomplishment, like you are able to fly with a sword, you are able to see underground what it is, you are able to hear distant voices, so there are 8 different kinds. I think I've in the book, but ultimately the most important is the realization. Okay, realization. So in order to acquire all this, achieve all this, Yidam practice is very, very important.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche, with the Mahakala and Mahakali mantra, do we need empowerment first before we can practice this? I'll be giving transmission too, so you don't have to worry about that. This book is already in website. I think you can print out. Okay, so there's the Mahakala, Mahakali mantras all there, short practice. So I can give you a transmission. Yes, you must need transmission. Any mantra that you recite from Tantrayana must have transmission. We have in English, we have in Chinese, we have in Tibetan. Yes. Wonderful resource. Rinpoche, sometimes there are small ants that come into the offering water. Why is this and what to do?
Why is it?
Yeah, why are the ants coming to the offering water?
They are scavengers, they are looking for a food. Maybe they are thirsty in Singapore, isn't it?
Maybe this is from Indonesia question actually.
Or Indonesia. I think, when you live in a tropical countries, ants is everywhere. Like Lindu Monastery, ant is everywhere, and of course it's difficult. It's easier said than done. And we need to gently, sweep them away. Then try not to kill them. You can throw outside. Release outside. So that's the only thing. Did I answer the question?
Yes, Rinpoche. Thank you. Rinpoche, how to overcome doubts is the next question. How to overcome doubts, Rinpoche, is the next question.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think sometimes doubt can lead you to downfall of each other. When you have a doubt, you need to ask the person why you are having this doubt. So if you communicate, you are able to resolve. Because if you just listen to someone else, then it becomes worse. So if you have a problem, you don't have to be forceful or angry. You can just, okay, I have this doubt. Can you help me to sort it out? Then it's okay. Everybody will understand. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I always tell people, sometimes they say, why they criticize me? Why? I think the reason is that when people criticizes you, that means you are someone. If you are no one, people doesn't criticize people who live in the street, yeah.
Yes.
Because they don't see the reason. I mean, they criticize because like why people only talk about Mount Everest and Mount Kailash, because they are the tallest mountain in the world, yeah. Nobody talks about small mountains because it doesn't mean that they don't care, but they don't think that necessary to say anything about this, So you should be happy. That means you're someone,
Rinpoche,
someone.
Rinpoche, they were saying that when you did the morning practice of clearing the winds, they couldn't see where your hands are at the hip level and what to do. Can you show again, Rinpoche?
My seat is, like, never mind. This is the way all the energy, negative energy flows in and out. This is the defilement, So you close like this. Maybe you can just put it on your hip, hip. On your hip, like this, on your hip, and then you raise like this. And see, make nice. You see? And then place it back. Then like that, huh?
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rinpoche.
So this is the ring of finger of all the negativity, all the emotion. So that's why you try to stop, Yeah. And I don't know why when people get married, you use this finger, yeah? We call it ring finger.
Ring finger, yes.
In the wrong place, this is not a good place to use it. Maybe you can use in other fingers, huh? Okay. That's why it's not so stable, because in the wrong finger.
So Rinpoche, people are asking us, Rinpoche in Singapore, how to connect with Rinpoche in Singapore if they are there.
Oh, I'm in the center. Open 24 hours. If you come after 3, I'll be in the center.
Wonderful. Rinpoche, we have gone way over time. Is it okay? A couple more, or I want to be.
Yeah. Okay. Come on. Yes, I want more questions.
Okay. So Rinpoche, how do we know who our root guru is and what are the signs?
That's a good question. I don't know. Earlier like you know, it's like if your guru is highly accomplished, they're able to tell that you are in my previous life, we have a connection, so you're my student. That things, there's such many stories, yeah. Like when like Thumase met Kamapa, Thumase saw Kamapa as a true emanation of Manjushri, Kamapa saw Thumase as a true emanation of Telopa. So they're able to communicate, but this is very difficult, very difficult. So the best what you can do is, of course, before you start to learn from anybody, you have to make sure that you know that person, or at least you need to ask your friends or Rinpoche or lamas. You Google, I don't know, Google can sometimes may say the wrong thing, so you Google anyway. And then if you find this is a good Rinpoche or lama, then you don't have to take as a root guru, but you start to learn from this guru, yeah. I think, and basically, if someone gives you initiation, transmission, instruction for many, many years, then you may take as your teacher, You don't have to tell that, or please accept my to be but your student, You don't have to tell that, but if you want to tell, also nothing wrong.
Thank you very much.
Like, normally, like, if I've done something wrong, I will go through the process of reducing the burden of my act of non-virtue, And I don't go and tell my teacher, oh, I have done this, please forgive me, You don't have to do that. And that, I think sometimes, like in Christianity, I've seen that, you can see, they will go to church and there's a box, the father is inside, you talk from outside, but we don't have that in Buddhism. Normally, we don't go and tell unless it's necessary, because you know if you have done something wrong, you ask for forgiveness, commit yourself not to do it again. I think this is more meaningful.
Thank you, Rinpoche. So Rinpoche, now the question is about Yidam. Does each person have to have a specific Yidam? How do we know, if this is true, how do we know which is our Yidam?
Again, it's a good question. Again, there are stories that Yidam will come to you, in your dream, or not like dream, but it's like a vision. You'll say, okay, I've been your Yidam for many, many lifetimes. So we are connected. We have a connection. So you start to take that Yidam, But otherwise, you can always ask Rinpoche or Lama, someone you trust, someone you know. You ask, what is my Yidam? Then they will advise you. Once you take someone as your Yidam, then you take forever, It's just one-way ticket. You can't say, oh, I need to change someone else, You don't do that.
And then Rinpoche, is the Yidam practice inseparable from Guru Yoga? How do we practice yoga? Different.
They're different. Guru Yoga is different. Yidam is different. Dhammapala, Dhamma protected practice are different.
Rinpoche, with the clearing the breath, the wind energy, do we need to do it 3 times on each side and in the middle, or just the once?
No, just one time. There are many different traditions. Just normally, I every morning do 1 time, 2 times, and 3 times. That's all.
Maybe one more question, Rinpoche. This question is, I just lost the question. Oh, yes. What do we do, Rinpoche, if we practice for so many years, but our wealth and our health is unstable and going down? Does this mean there's something wrong with our practice?
That is impermanence, yeah. Impermanence, firstly. Secondly, it's I think everybody goes through, like sometimes maybe a not good manager to manage your wealth. I think one of the problems that I see is like a lot of people, this year, last year, in this year, you may make a lot of money, but then doesn't mean that next year will you make more money than this year, So when you make money, you need to save and make sure that money is spent when you need money, when you don't have money. Like our monastery, we cannot spend everything that what we have. So we need to save some money for difficult time. So you have to always manage. It's not that you blow up everything. Then of course, even Zambala will start having problem. I'm joking. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry.
So we're coming to the end now, Rinpoche. People are asking, how do they find this to ask Rinpoche questions? This email, is it on the website or something like this?
Yeah. So then you have one, isn't it? That email. What our email, and also, Lama, you have. We have. We can. Daniel, that we have what email that, isn't it, for student?
I have one, Rinpoche, that people can write to. I think you have a different one, but as well, for that the Lama.
We have to, because sometimes they complain. I mean, they said that they can't send or receive.
Oh,
so
okay.
I have emails. Maybe we can post in
On the
in our
website.
website. Yeah.
Yeah. So the one that they can,
we have two emails, and
yeah, one is zurmangkagyu@gmail.com, and I checked this. No emails there now.
Nobu Gatsal. There's another one. Nobu
Oh yes,
Gatsal,
Nobu Gatsal. So we can maybe put that on the website, Rinpoche, so people
yeah.
and the lamas are checking.
And for your all information, this year we are definitely starting 5-year courses for 5 years, and then it will be going to be very good. And I'm looking forward, and we'll let you know. Probably will start in May, June. Every year 6 weeks. Okay. So we will have a lot of information about these courses. But anyway, the week after, then we will have one session on meditation, short one, and then maybe 3 sessions on about these books. Okay. Okay. Thank you. All the best. Thank you, Ali, Daniel, translation of Tile Norbu and Jenny. Yeah.
Ruby.
Ruby. Sorry. Thank you. Everybody, thank you all. Thank you. See you soon.